Hey everybody, I'm Ernie from Shark Investment Research. Well, today we're diving into the food processing industry. I studied 42 companies from the Value Line Investment Survey and came up with 3 contenders for your investment consideration. Now remember, these are dividend-paying companies with 17 years of increasing dividends per share, maybe a flat year in there, but no negative years. Come on, let's dive in and take a look at these folks. We are diving right in with Bunge Limited, ticker BG. Their dividend yield is 4.3%, and that's on $47.24. Bunge is a global agribiz with operations in North and South America. They're the largest processor of soybeans in the Americas and the world's largest volume exporter of soybean products. They are not qualified in cash flow or earnings per share, but they are a Div 1. So that's 17 years of increasing dividends per share, with the exception of this one flat year here in 1920. Long-term trend line: cash flow per share in the blue, earnings per share in the green, dividends per share in the gold. A little bit disconcerting here. You've got a lot of ups and downs going on here, and overall that's a negative trend for cash flow per share and earnings per share. However, the dividends per share are a upward trend. Even if it's not a good upward slope, it's still a nice smooth upward slope. This is kind of interesting right here to pay attention to as well. All right, the year to year, we can see that positives, negatives, we can clearly understand why they're not qualified in cash flow or earnings, but the dividends are consistently above the zero line, giving us the Div 1 because here's that flat 0 year. So the second company we're looking at is Flowers Foods, ticker FLO. Their yield is 3.3% on $24.92. You will recognize Flowers Foods packaged products as Nature's Own, Dave's Killer Bread, Canyon Bakehouse, and Wonder Labels. They are not qualified in cash flow or earnings per share, but they are a Div 0. So that's 17 years of increasing dividends per share. No flat years in there at all. Let's take a look at the long-term trends, which look pretty nice. Good overall upward trends here on cash flow and earnings. Got a couple of negative hits here, but overall these are nice upward slopes, and the dividends per share also a reasonably nice upward slope and pretty smooth. Year-to-year changes, we can see here's those hits that took them out of the consideration for cash flow and earnings, but the dividends per share yearly change is positive every year. All right, and our third contender for dividend consideration is Kellogg's, good old Kellogg's, ticker K. Their dividend yield is 3.5% on $65.45 a share. Of course, you know Kellogg's, but you may also recognize some of these other names: Pringles, Cheez-Its, Special K, Rice Krispies, Pop-Tarts, Eggos, Kashi, RX Bar, Morningstar Farms, and Nutri-Grain. They're all in the Kellogg's family. Now, Kellogg's is not qualified for cash flow or earnings per share, but they too are a Div 0. 17 years of increasing dividends per share. Their long-term trend is a upward overall for cash flow and earnings per share. A couple negative years in there. We'll see that on the year-to-year changes. And their dividends are a nice smooth upward trend. The year-to-year changes reveal the hits that took them out of the contention for cash flow and earnings, but look at those dividends per year changes, always above the zero line, clearly Div 0. All right, well, the easiest thing to do is to lay them all one on top of the other and see how that looks. So here we see cash flow per share. Bunge is the solid blue line, Kellogg the red dots, and Flowers Foods the purple dashes. Although Bunge starts out outperforming, what we quickly see is they start to merge with Kellogg's here in the recent years, the 2017 timeframe on. Earnings per share, similar kind of result for Bunge, but wow, look at this. That 2015 to 16, Kellogg starts to outperform. Dividends is what we're all about, and while this chart would lead you to believe that Kellogg's is clearly outperforming at 3.5% on $65.45, Bunge is actually paying 4.3%. It just is on a lower value at 47.24. So now you have to go back and start asking yourself, what are the fundamentals of the companies? Can Bunge continue to pay this 4.3%? Or is Kellogg's probably the better bet because they're able to pay a better, have a safer payment on that 3.5%? That's where our additional research starts to pay out. The intention of these videos is just to give you a head start and narrow down the playing field because there's a lot of folks out there. And don't throw Flowers Foods out right away either, because that 3.3% isn't that far behind Kellogg's. It's on $24.92, so it might be an easier way for some folks to buy in and still get some good dividends over the long haul. Well, I'm interested in your thoughts. Which of these three players are right for your dividend investment portfolio? If you're enjoying these quick hit dividend analysis and comparison, go ahead and give me that thumbs up. That's the like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That's the little red button down in the lower right-hand corner. Make sure you tell all your friends so that they can be better informed investors as well. We're going to have some links coming up here for more of my quick hit dividend investment considerations. I look forward to seeing all of you on the next one.